If you've been in HR a while, you'll have your own collection of cringeworthy moments. You know, those memories of when you launched a new process that achieved absolutely nothing. Despite the hard work, the meticulous planning and the widespread stakeholder consultation, your new initiative fell completely flat and was greeted by your colleagues with indifference at best, and at worst, ill-disguised contempt. Here are 3 of my least successful attempts at making a difference. There was that painful overhaul of a pay and grading system that everybody said they needed and then nobody liked. There was that brilliant performance review on a page that everyone said they would make their lives easier, but still wouldn't complete without moaning. And then there was the smart online system for doing our 9-box grids that promised to take away the misery of using PowerPoint, but then nobody used it. I think the main problems with all of these wastes of effort was that I was aiming to make an HR process more efficient, more accessible, or easier to complete, rather than questioning the value of the process in the first place. Our enterprise-wide systems don't help because they often hardwire these one-size-fits-all processes rather than encouraging us to customize our people experiences based on individual needs or the needs of different business areas. For these processes to be cost-effective and measurable, they must be consistently applied with no room for deviation. But of course, this doesn't reflect the diversity of our businesses or our people. I've spoken to plenty of great HR talent who are frustrated with the lack of scope for them to tailor what they do to their department or business because they are slaves to these systems. The slickest, most streamlined, mobile-friendly approach in the world will still not be taken up by leaders and employees if its value is dubious. For those of you who run large teams, budget, operations, etc., you know that if there's something that helps you serve customers better, improves your performance, or makes your life easier, then you adopt it pretty quickly. If it's a process that does none of the above, you will ignore it or comply with barely disguised resentment. It's time to stop making the irrelevant more efficient and find new ways of delivering. So how do you avoid making the irrelevant more efficient? Well, the next time you're being told that increasing the efficiency of an HR process will improve the outcome, try these steps. Firstly, take 3 end users and ask them how the current process adds value. How does it help them make it better for customers, improve the caliber of their teams, or increase the motivation of their people? If they struggle to tell you, it's time to start afresh. Secondly, keep asking, why are we doing this? Use the 6 Sigma technique of asking why 5 times to get to the root cause of the problem. Using this approach can help us to avoid fixing a process inefficiency and get to the real reason why we're doing something. 99 times out of 100, we're trying to change human behaviour. And of course, a one-size-fits-all process will rarely change human behaviour. Thirdly, apply the marketing tactic of identifying your customer personas, or in our case, employee personas. Creating these can help you sense check your approach and make sure your processes are designed around the real and specific needs of your employees. One perfectly formed process may not be the answer. Fourthly, ask yourself, what if we had no process for talent management or performance management or succession planning? What would that mean for our leaders and employees? What would they do in its place? Chances are the better leaders and employees would do the right things anyway, which leaves us with the awful realization that most of our unloved and irrelevant process is designed to compensate for the poor ones. Is that how we want to spend our time and energy? How about we focus more on what the better ones do well and look to create small behavioural nudges that replicate these actions to a wider group? And finally, if we focus on how we want people to feel as a result, rather than the steps we want them to go through, we can be more creative and human-centric in our design. So for example, one of our clients agreed that as a result of performance management, they wanted their people to feel lifted up in terms of ambition, motivation, clarity, competence. Lifted up. Starting with this human outcome led this client to both challenging and changing their process-heavy and ratings-filled performance management process to one that was much more about the quality of the conversation. I don't believe great HR is neat and streamlined, nor solely focused on efficiency. I believe that great HR is beautifully messy, reflecting the equally messy human beings that we work with. I don't believe we should celebrate the implementation of a universal, one-size-fits-all process, but instead look for creative and agile solutions tailored to a variety of needs. Above all, we must stop ourselves from making the irrelevant more efficient. Thanks for watching. To get more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications.